Okay. Lights, camera, action. Your resonance field loves you. I know that sounds kind of dorky, but no, really. So this video is going to be about why we go inward. But I knew there's a crow crowing in the background as every time I open my mouth. All right, this is why we go inward. But I wanted to start by expressing that the truth of reality is your resonance field loves you. Now, at times when we can't see that, when we can't feel that emotionally or understand that in our being, that's because our resonance field needs clarifying. So I am going to clarify the series of events that has taken place over the past week leading up to this conclusive video, this realization along the storyline that not only does our resonance field actually love us, but it requires our awareness and our participation. This is why I teach higher dimensional awareness. I don't necessarily teach people how to be smarter. I'm not saying that I am smarter than other people, but there is an avenue in which to see details that we are normally not privy to. And this follows the laws of quantum mechanics and modern day science and conclusive philosophical theories that we now can understand and embody through our human perceptual experience. Okay, I say these keywords a lot, and I'm trying to be a little bit more diverse in what I say, but these are intuitive videos, unscripted. I just know kind of what I want to talk about, so I channel the information. So this all started last week when I had started getting more views on a video that was titled Updates and Upgrades. It was talking about essential oils and talking about this month-long ritual practice of the LBRP, the Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram, and just sampling out different things and how it was grounding me, mediating all the energies, and how I was leveling up. So it started with that video, and that video got a lot of views, and it earned quite a few subscribers in a short while for the rate of subscribers and likes and views that we get on this channel. We don't get too many. This content is relatively kind of hard to find, but YouTube's doing something different. It was starting to open up the gates and people were finding it, and I was getting confirmation that all this time this information has been actually wanted and needed. So that video started taking off, and in ways that none of my other videos ever took off. And then simultaneously I was putting out another video because I was going inward. The start of my story, I was starting to take beach trips, and so taking these beach trips, I'm going inward, and so I'm going to lay out a formula for you, and this is the formula I'm following in my mind, knowing that if I do it this way, I'm going to get the result that I need, but it requires participation by me and willingness. And so things happen, and I have to understand that. Good things and bad things. Doing magic and following your spiritual path and trying to manifest what's in your resonance field. Your resonance field loves you. You're trying to manifest what's in it. Well, it needs clarifying. So there's all kinds of things in there. And to bring out the most optimum clarity in what's in your resonance field is to manifest your destiny. And you can do this in a fluid way that doesn't require much resistance, but we need to get past what creates the resistance. And so that's why we study higher dimensionality, because we realize there are other forces and other configurations of life that we can't see metaphysically that play into the influences of our lower dimensional perceptions, which include the third dimension is considered a lower dimension because of its denseness And so we just so happen to live and see and perceive everything in the third dimension. But when we go lower, 2 and 1, what's in those dimensions are considered the demonic realms, the darker realms. And the only reason why it's considered that is because all light and influence has to permeate all the way into that density. And what does it do when it hits its core? It reflects off. And it reflects off of a traumatized collective being. The earth, the human, us personally, me, you, we are all traumatized in some way. That is what we try to wake up from. And so there's a lot of working out, a lot of reconfiguration and a lot of reprogramming and a lot of retemplating our emotional body to serve us in a way that actually manifests that clarity in our resonance field. Your resonance field actually loves you, and it gives you these signs. And so the formula. Okay, so the story and the formula. So it started with the updates and the upgrades. And so when I went inward, I went to the beach. And when you go inward, that is an action of intention, in a way of speaking. So I put out the video based on this formula, the updates and the upgrades, based on this formula. So it's a cycle. It's a cycle of clarifying. You can almost say it's a cycle of perpetuating clarification of something that is not clarified. Many, many things that need clarification. Updates and upgrades, I knew it needed to be put out. I put it out and then I let it go. I didn't think it was going to get any hits at all. None of my videos get much activity. So I went on to go inward. I went to the beach, had my experience, and then I put out the video that explained that not too many people watched. Now, it might be kind of hard to watch because it's just me in the car doing my lip licking thing and trying to express the story. But you got to watch that to tie the whole thing together. How I went inward with no expectation and I was rewarded with the story, the angelic story. You got to go see the video. I think it's like 25 minutes. So that plays into this too. Now, that video got put out and instantly, see, I wouldn't have put that video out if my updates and upgrades video would have blew up. If it would have blown up, I wouldn't have put out that video. I just put out videos because intuitively, whatever. And it plays into the story. So it hit my channel, and I'm not going to just delete it because it's significant. But updates and upgrades started getting tons of hits. And so I started seeing that pattern in what I was doing, the action and intention going inward. And so when you go inward and you work with the metaphysical valences or the dimensional influences, rather than working with the physicality of life, the people, or in this case my channel, or anything going back to the ego part of self. Instead, I went to go inward to clarify. And what that is that's just breathing exercises, visualization exercises, and any emotion that comes up, whether that's a happy or a sad, and if it's attached to anything emotionally, I clarify that because my being creates love and peace and abundance and can clarify what's in my resonance field when I action with intention. When I move to action intention, like on a chessboard, there will be a result. And so when I clarify, I'm telling the universe what I want. See, when you focus on the thing, oh, coffee and caffeine, you make my life so miserable because you make me so tense at the end of the day and I'm so tired and da-da-da-da. But then, you go back to drinking it again. I might be trailing off. But so we work with the influences of the inside. And so we start telling these things, okay, I'm going to clarify. You need clarification because you shouldn't be affecting me in this way. A cup of coffee should feel every single time, no matter how many cups of coffee I have, it should feel like I'm having this unique treat, this abundance in life that pretty much nobody else can get because of my perceptual awareness. Everything in life turns into this. So everything needs clarification. Our resonance field loves us, and we go inward. And so a fourth dimensional influence, a structured influence in our life that reacts with lower dimensional forces to create this evil entity in our life, no matter what that is. It always needs clarification. So you go back to that core, that one dimension. I've been talking about this a lot lately. Going back inward to clarify. And that pushes those templates into a configuration that you start to see in a higher dimensional perception. And so as you do that, and instead of being angry or emotional about it, you clarify and you tell these energies, basically, you can tell them straight up. Just practice by telling them straight up, okay, I want clarification on this. I am not affected by this, but because it's in my resonance field, it has not received clarification, is affecting me emotionally. This can be abandonment, or this can be the narcissist template, which brings me to the next video. Because, okay, so I put out a video that I wanted my audience, when they came in droves, to see what I teach. And so I teach higher dimensional perception, and that got some hits, and it got a lot of appreciation. Enter the new subscribers who start voicing their opinion about how this is, I think I only got like 2 subscribers that started talking. One said this was well said, and I hit the like button on that comment to show my appreciation. I didn't expect anybody to even get it, but then I got another subscriber who will go nameless, because we're just using the example. We're not trying to make this person feel bad about themselves. We are trying to wake up from this sort of element in our life. And so we got the new subscriber who came in, and the first thing the subscriber says to me starts doting me with appreciation by telling me that I'm beautiful. And I looked at the videos, like this old video from a year ago of me doing a little bit of psychic tarot channeling, and it was some numbers, and she told me I was beautiful, and I was like, oh, thank you for the comment. Wow, that was a very, very, very touching comment. And I took it as a spiritual, you're beautiful. And so, so the viewer went on to comment about my other videos, saying that, this is what they need to see. They need to see this over and over, giving me the likes, and then going to the what was the video called? The video that I left for the newcomers. How to go in higher dimensional perception step by step. Anyways, but so it was that video that inspired the subscriber to bring out what was in their resonance field by stating a few details about their life and about their mentality. They asked me if I had ever heard about the narcissist template, or if I had ever heard about the person that they call the narcissist, and then they expressed how they could see the narcissist's eyes change, which is like an archetype. When we peg somebody as evil, or peg anything as evil that has like eyes, we see their eyes change. That's just our perception, because it reacts with our fear, the fear that's in our core. So that's actually an illusion. It doesn't really happen, but we will perceive it that way. Even in a higher dimensional perception, you can perceive it that way. It's a subtle cue. It doesn't necessarily mean that the person's evil. When the eyes change, that's your perception. So that it's supposed to show you something. It's not necessarily supposed to show you that the person's evil. It's supposed to show you that there is a flip side to the way we see things. And so, and it's supposed, and it reacts with your emotional body when it needs clarification. So I thought that was interesting. And then they wanted to say a couple personal things about their life. And so this was all like foreshadowing, warning to me. And so I just sort of thanked them, and and let them know that, oh, I haven't put, it's relevant. I haven't put it out, so I can't ignore it. It's a sign. I need to put it out. What is the narcissist? So I put out that video, the narcissist template, and I worded it that way and everything in it to get somebody to understand that if we are experiencing a narcissist, the subject of narcissism in our life, it has special meaning and very deep meaning that we cannot attach deeply to. We cannot become a victim to the narcissist template because it is this intelligent force that reacts with our emotional core that needs clarification. Hopefully you're following, because this subscriber did not follow anything I had said in any of the videos that they left comments on. They ended up getting upset and they ended up deleting all their comments because they did not get validation in the way that they needed and wanted, that reflected from the core that needed clarification, the emotional body that needed clarification. Because you can create your own pleasantry in life. You can psychically understand the conclusive nature of all action and reaction, I guess you could say, to all causality when you go inward to clarify. Okay, by attaching to the actual thing that's on the outside, you are perpetuating you're subject to perpetuating a cycle. You're leaving yourself open to perpetuating a cycle that is reflecting off of your inner core. So all this appreciation from the brand new subscriber, not even 24 hours into understanding my content and higher dimensional perception and how we perceive it. And in that video of talking about the narcissist template, I specifically mentioned about how we don't want to go into victim mentality. And so what happened was they'd asked me if they could email me, and I had said that the contact information's in the description of the channel. That information is in there for if somebody wants to get, on a personal level, if somebody wants to get a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of channeled inspiration, I will give that. It's vague, and I'm not going to tell you things. I'm not going to give you advice or tell you what to do, and you can tell that by the way I don't give you advice. I just clarify vaguely what I feel is in your resonance field, okay? But I'm not going to tell you what to do with your life, which is what the subscriber wanted me to do. They wanted me to tell them specifically what to do with themselves and their life and their situation, because that is what is in their resonance field. The perpetuation of somebody else needing somebody else to tell them what to do. Otherwise, why would you ask anybody, a stranger, to tell you what to do? And literally tell you what path to take in your personal life interactions with people. No. I tell you how the human experience has a potential of working. It's your job to go inward and find that to be truth. And if you find that to be truth, great, come on back and everything's gravy. But I'm not going to lie to you and give you endorphin hits. I'm not going to give you hits for no reason. Okay, that's a form of perpetuating anything that's in your resonance field. And that's why people unsubscribe sometimes, because they realize this isn't giving me what I want. I'm not being validated, and I'm not getting the endorphin hit or whatever that is, that chemical hit. So I don't resonate with this. Or this guy said something that made me mad, that reacted with my emotions. So I'm going to unsubscribe. And so that's okay. That's perfectly fine. They will eventually figure it out, and they'll be like, oh, okay, this kind of content is actually meant to stimulate my influence in a different way, to open me up to a broader spectrum of what life's trying to show me. Anyways, so the narcissist template got put out, and I got I said my contact information was there, and they even had stated, oh, and I can even donate. And I didn't acknowledge any of those things. Okay, I'm not acknowledging. If someone wants to donate, you're gonna donate out of the kindness of your heart. Me, I'm just some poor homeless dude who understands high dimensional perception because I've been doing this since I was a kid, and I never gave up, and I'm committed, like you read about. So my life is what it is, and I am appreciative to people who donate, and people do donate, but we need to understand why we do things. I donate. I tithe and I give, but I understand why I do it, and I'm not looking for a validation for it. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that you won't get one when you do donate, but hear the rest of the story. So they stated all this. There's a snowball effect in their resonance field that is trying to unfold in putting the savior element on the Watchers Alchemy channel, the Cross Watcher channel, the Watchers Alchemy channel, or pegging me as having this information, or that I am the only person who has this. It's not. It's just not that. It's not the reality of it. The information's actually inside you. You just need to. I'm just sort of saying it and expressing my ninth dimensional. I'm helping the world, and I'm helping myself, in the same light. This is how we expand as humans. Okay, but having empathy is different than having sympathy, which is something I mentioned in an email I responded to when the subscriber was trying to contact me. So I gave a little bit of influence, a little bit of vague channeled inspiration, and at no cost, no expectation. But then right away, the viewer got exactly what they wanted, and they decided to send me a very generous donation, which, okay, so there's another part of the story you need to understand, because it's like, well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And that question comes up, and you have to understand me personally, as a higher dimensional being who's taken back my sovereignty. I turn off all the notifications on my phone. I don't get notifications for anything. Nobody calls me. Nobody contacts me. And that's exactly what I expect out of life. And that's not that I'm not open to it. It's just that I know that that's the perpetuation of what's in my resonance field. Silence, a complete not abandonment, but complete abandon, and no need to worry about it. So I don't have any notifications notifying me anything about my phone. See what I'm saying? So when I see something on my YouTube channel, or if I see something on my emails, it is it's a channeled perception. I can see it in my mind's eye, and in synchronicity, I just so happen to click on to it a minute after the minute it happens, moments after, maybe sometimes an hour if I, in my own world, don't want to be distracted. But I always get these notifications here, okay? But when I am moving towards action and intention, I am not trying to channel information. I am pushing out everything that's not me. So we're past the point where I put out the video and I got the appreciation and the new subscriber, and then I got an email and a correspondence, and I got a very, very generous donation. At the exact moment I was headed out the door to go inward, because I had actioned with intention. In fact, I had actioned with intention more than I normally do, because my resonance field popped into manifestation and decided to correspond with me. See where I'm getting at here? So I'm headed down the road, and in heading down the road, I opened my phone real quick to see what's going on with the YouTube, and I noticed that the subscriber had said something on one of the videos, and so I hit the like button, and then that was it. I hit the road, an hour drive to the beach, all day long at the beach, going inward and just being sovereign. In the way that I know how to. Resetting, basically, you'd call it. Resetting the program. Not attaching to anything, and just seeing anything that does come in, I clarify. And this is the perfect practice. And so doing this is another form of action and intention, because when you go inward and you work with forces that are not in the physical, it responds by saying, hey, this needs clarification now you need to, and see, the more you do this, the faster things start, the faster time starts speeding up, and your resonance field starts dishing out things. So now I'm getting things. I'm going to skip a lot of the story, but I start getting things on the beach, different things in my resonance field popping out, and now I'm getting things on my YouTube channel popping up. So I get back to society, and what do I find? I find that this new subscriber who has generously donated and put all their energy into my channel has completely done a reversal. They think that I am ignoring them. They think that I'm a bad person because they start removing all their comments from my channel, and they unsubscribed. And I did not pay attention to the emails, because when I started seeing the keywords of starting off by, obviously there was the donation, and there was the foreshadowing with the extra loving attention of telling me I'm beautiful, and then moving forward, in the comments, but then removing those comments so they don't exist anymore. So afterwards, and then moving in the donation, but then the subject was the narcissist template. I can see that this person is stuck in the victim mentality of the narcissist template, which perpetuates the narcissist. And you'll have to go see that video. You have to see all these videos to get the full story, and this video too. But it's very important to see why we go inward, why we action and intention, and why we don't attach to the physical, but that our action in intention in going inward into the core, working with these correspondences, will produce back and forth manifestations in not only in your perceptual awareness, but also in your actual physical world. So the action and intention after going inward, and after this happens, see, this is my resonance field saying, do you need clarification on this? Yes, I need clarification on this. Thank you very much for asking me. I won't get emotionally attached to it, because I understand that it's in the best benefit of everybody. Now, this subscriber, if she watches this video, is more than welcome to come back. I don't have any qualms about it. Like, this is exactly how the play and the drama works out. This is why I mentioned it the way I did. So thank you so much for your donation. And I would see, when I went inward, I kind of contemplated, usually if something negative comes with a donation, because this has happened before where a negative donation gets brought to me, because the intention was not clarified. The intention turned around into kind of like a, oh, what about me type of feeling from the person that donated. And so they're not learning the lesson that their resonance field's trying to teach them. I'm not trying to teach them. I just know what's in the resonance field. So I'm not going to lie in my action and intention and perpetuate what's in the field, the unclarified parts that are in the field. So I know that this needs to be clarified. And so now that this has all happened, see, I don't want this to be a negative thing, because what I do with negative money is I donate it. I donate it to worthy causes. Children, to abused children is a very needy cause. Now, I don't want to do that, because this was a very generous donation, and the person has full capability of coming back around and being like, I get it now. I see the play. I see full circle now why this all happened, and I see why my donation actually was valid, and I'm getting the full spectrum of the value, the spiritual value of this lesson. Okay, so I leave it up to the free will of the subscriber and any future subscribers to see life this way. Okay, don't fall victim to channels that perpetuate things like the narcissist template. I mentioned it in that video, where they just want you to focus on the bad things about the narcissist and not how it penetrates into our core and reflects off of it. So there are higher dimensional forces just simply innocently trying to be like, hey, do you want clarification on this? Because you are stronger than you perceive yourself in this moment. And we want you to know that your resonance field loves you, but it's an unconditional love. So we're not going to give you the condition that perpetuates this template that's in your resonance field, that is bogging you down and keeping you from being sovereign and limitless more than any other template before it has allowed you to be. Okay. Okay. My name's Ryan. This is the Watcher's Alchemy. I'll catch you next time.